Alright folks, welcome back. Heading into the cottage to clean up some stuff that I cut from the other day and potentially get a little more cut. I only have a few hours to spend over here, and then I got some other things I need to do, so we'll see what I'm able to get done, but ideally if I can get the log. Okay, so as I was saying, I got a bunch cut out by the road the other day in preparation for bringing power in. It looks like that's the way we're gonna go with things, is running poles in and still have... Well, okay, let's try this again for the third time. These GoPros do not like the cold, I can tell you. So, here we are, back on the Cottage road. Got the old Kubota, the old faithful, the one that started it all, and got the newest addition to everything. So it looks like we have decided that we are going to run poles in for the cottage. So as you can see, we got started. My father came in last weekend on Sunday. He was doing all the cutting, so he did all the hard work. I was in the machine dragging all the logs and brush and stuff over to that pile and like a landing area where I can sit next to the truck and load the brush in and load. And then the logs are going over here because the first section of the road we don't own. We have a right of way through it, so all the wood is going up to this guy from this side of the road. Anything we cut on this side is going to this guy, and then once we get back a ways, it turns into another landowner before we get to our gate, so the wood will go to him. Everyone being really good about it. If we do decide to run power in, I said I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but regardless, I want to cut the road out some so that some sun can get at it and dry it up, because it's so grown in, it doesn't get a whole lot of sunlight, and it just, yeah, I mean, anyone, you guys know what I'm talking about. It needs to be able to dry out. We got some potholes everywhere, so you can see where we stopped at. So I got this big clump to cut down through here and then out through to the end of the road. And if we do power, we're going to be coming through from this pole right there. So a couple of these will have to come down to run the line through, and then the driveway is really narrow up here, so I'm gonna put an extension on this side just to widen it out a bit, so when you turn in you don't have to cut so sharp. You can see where my dump truck tires go coming out of here, so widen it a little bit this way, just make that swoop in so much better, and then take some of the steepness out of the road when you first come in. So first things first is this section here. Not really taking anything much on this side, unless when they come back and do the power scope, I have to. But you can tell that what we've done so far definitely helped open it up. There will probably have to be more to come down once they come and mark where the poles are going to be. Again, if we do go that route, I'm not sure what's going on yet, but it makes sense in a lot of ways. Solar is nice, but I don't know, it's not that dependable a lot of the time, and it limits you so much to what you can do. Back to the cottage, we definitely want to do some heat pumps for the summertime and have another source of heat during the winter. If we do stay off grid, we can always do propane heaters, but if we do hook it up to the grid, we have the 2 wood stoves, and then we could just do some baseboard heaters in the bedrooms. But we'll see. But first things first, I need to get this pile of brush. There's still a couple logs laying here, but I got to get this pile of brush cleaned up so that we can make room to cut more and pile more. And there honestly is really nothing worse than loading brush onto a dump truck. excavation wise. I would rather do pretty much anything other than load brush on the back of a dump truck. I've already had one casualty. My greedy board lasted, but I had this truck now for probably right around 3 months. So it lasted 3 months, but it's gone now. So you can see they're boards that I had laying around anyway. But you can see this one is a 2x12. This is the good one still. And this one is a 2x8. So it is what it is. I just threw that on. I had that laying actually at the house. I just threw that on for now. But eventually I want to get some steel welded up there, because you're constantly, like, we do a lot of this stuff, and you're constantly, like, you can be as careful as you want. It's bound to happen. Anyway, it is what it is. Let's clean some more of this up. heading out for the last load of brush out of here today. That will make 4 loads. And I'm gonna go out on a limb here. See what I did there? And say that possibly the only thing more painful than loading brush into a dump truck, especially hardwood is by far the worst, is watching somebody load brush into a dump truck. So sorry for that. Anyway, so yeah, I guess we'll have to see what takes place with what we end up doing, but that's where we're leaning anyway. We definitely are leaning towards going with hydro. Like I said, the solar's fine and all. I don't know. It's harder to get insurance. It's harder to get a mortgage with solar. They want you to go green and all this and all that, but the banks keep fighting you when it comes to that stuff. And then, you know, who knows what the future will bring. I have no plans at all, I mean whatsoever, of ever selling that property. But if we did, you get a lot more for it when it's hooked up to the grid. That's for sure. For all those reasons I just said. Insurance, mortgage. A lot of people don't want to deal with solar. They want to have full-time power hooked up to the grid. And then of course with the generator there running the place, we still keep propane appliances in there. So if the power does go out, well, you just flip the generator on or get it geared up on an automatic transfer switch. Power goes out, generator fires up, and you're good to go. So you have the best of both worlds, really, other than paying a power bill, of course. But anyway, stay tuned. Who knows? Lots of work to do though before we're even close to being ready for that, which is fine because that's going to be a good size bill when it comes time if we do go that route. Anyway, folks, that's it for now. Until next time, take care, stay safe. We'll see you then. Bye.